inside the off stump. Oh, he's caught it! I don't believe it! Tom Kohler-Cadmore has caught the most magnificent catch. At short third man, it's the end of Daniel Sams, and Somerset have won the Vitality Blast 2023. They've bowled Essex out for 131.
Hello there, this is Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, the Somerset Cricket Podcast. My name's Ian Shepherd. Joining me this evening, I've got Taunton born and bred, but currently exiled up north. Steve, we were just chatting before, and it is muggy and grim up
It
north
is,
today.
all the way up the west coast, I think, today.
Lovely. We've had some fat, gloopy rain down here in Devon, so it's probably on its way to you. Feels like there's a thunderstorm in the air. Also joining me tonight is the voice of cricket on BBC Radio Somerset, Anthony Gibson. Gibbo, have you had thunderstorms in Langport this week or today?
Just a few drops of rain this afternoon. It's been very disappointing. Due to the rain, everything's very, very dry. But at least it's not as boiling hot as it obviously is up in the northwest.
It was boiling hot yesterday at the Cooper Associates County Ground for Family Day, which was Somerset's third game in this season's Metrobank One Day Cup campaign. We'll leave that for a minute. We'll start at the beginning, I guess. Somerset travelling to Radlett to take on Middlesex in the first game. James Rew's first game as captain, and he sealed the win with a magnificent unbeaten 100. What can we say about James Rew that hasn't been said before? Settles into any challenge like a duck to water, and played a captain's innings in his first official game in charge as captain. And guys, I watched it, was just in awe, and just thought, he's doing it again. Just that understated way of just compiling an innings in the way that Ben Stokes does. Just goes up there, reads the situation, and executes. Brilliant.
Yeah, and in company with his younger brother for most of it as well, wasn't it? He put on 100 and 110, 100 and something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, 106 not out. They were a bit of trouble when they came together at 3 for 131, still chasing down that victory target of 290. But they achieved it with, what was it in the end? 6
2.5 overs.
2.5 overs to go, which in modern one-day cricket is as pretty comprehensive as it gets.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Don't forget Josh Thomas finishing it off as well, because when Tom Rew was out, it could have been a little bit of a wobble, but it wasn't, was it? I thought he batted really well.
Interesting that two brothers bat so well together as well. I mean, that's two really good partnerships they've had. It's not always the case with brothers. The Overtons didn't score a huge number of them together. I think there was just too much sibling rivalry going on.
I think the testosterone got in the way.
An element of competition between the two of them, wasn't there? But yeah, I mean, two fantastic partnerships between the Rew brothers. I keep wanting to call them the Rew twins, but of course they're not. I mean, I'll just get this point out of the way. 17-year-old Thomas Rew, James Rew's younger brother, is coming in and he's playing all these shots. We're saying, brilliant, 17 years old Thomas Rew, what a player. And we all seem to have collective amnesia that James is still only 21. That is incredible. He seems like he's been around for years. I mean, when he first came in, it was like a duck to water the way he played. His brother's exactly the same. It's just incredible.
I mean, it's 3 years almost exactly, isn't it, since James grew up at Southport.
Southport.
Yeah, a terrific innings.
Have we got permission to get carried away, or?
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, Thomas Rew is just so precocious. You know, captain of England under-19s at the age of 17. I mean, James Rew was a little bit out of the blue. I mean, we'd heard good things about him, but weren't quite sure. But Thomas Rew, I mean, you know, we've known about him for a couple of years, and he seems to be every bit as good as he's been made up to be. I haven't seen him yet, other than very, very briefly with bat in hand. He took a spectacular catch down at Chelmsford in the second game in the Blast, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the flesh.
That was worth 5 hours there and back.
It was,
Lost that game by 300 runs, been bowled out for 5 or whatever. Seeing that, it was just, seeing it live was incredible. And I'm sure the Somerset fans are there would agree.
Interesting that Thomas isn't keeping, because last week when we were picking the side, I think we were unanimous in thinking that he would keep. So whether obviously James is keeping wicket and skippering the side and top scoring, etc., etc. So whether that is just to give, not that he needs it, but younger brother chance to bed in, I don't know. But I was surprised when I saw he wasn't keeping.
Yeah, 'cause Ben said he was down to keeping that friendly in Cornwall that got washed out last Monday. So whether that was just to give James's thighs a rest for a day or two.
But speaking of Cornwall, can I just do a tangent to make Anthony laugh? So we were down in Cornwall at the weekend visiting friends who just moved down near St Austell, and I think all my Mickey taking of Anthony when he says about Lewis Goldsworthy and that, I think Cornwall got its revenge because we were walking down into Fowey in the afternoon, and the steep hills down into the town centre.
I do.
My left knee objected massively and made an almighty crack. So tonight's podcast is brought to you by Voltarol, Codemol, and every anti-inflammatory drug going to man. So, yeah, I spent the second half of the weekend hobbling around Cornwall feeling sorry for myself. So I think that was the Cornish gods, Anthony, getting their own back on me.
That's dangerous place, Cornwall.
It is great day. We got two in the side now because Kean Roberts made his debut on Sunday as well. Yes, yep. I know you. I share your pain, Steve, because I've sort of resumed my playing career, and I've had to marinate my right shoulder in Voltarol as well to get through 40 overs.
You'll be pleased to know, though, guys. I'll show you. At least the strapping is Somerset maroon. I don't know if you can see that.
Very good, yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I'm very on brand.
Absolutely. Well, don't go too mad, because Richard Bryce will start selling them in the shop. You can stick a dragon on anything, and Bryce, you'll put it in the shop. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I'll get the royalties and free supplies, Richard, please.
Oh, while we're speaking of dragon, we have gone off on a massive tangent now. Family Day, got the activity, but you know exactly where I'm going with this, Gibbo. Where's the Somerset quiz? It was... I should have had this prepared. Well, anyway, question 6. What is the emblem... What animal is the... here we are. What kind of creature is the Somerset CCC logo?
We'd have got it wrong, I guess, would we?
Yeah, we all know what they put, and we all know it was wrong. Oh. I'm beginning to think they only do it now just specifically to wind us up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, I distracted us.
Weren't Somerset playing cricket this week? They were. Old Dr. Carey's as well. Did you see his LBW in inverted commas?
Didn't see it. Sorry.
He was sweeping off Jack Leach and
hit his glove, didn't it?
Looks like it hit his glove. The best I can do is to say that the umpire thought it may have just gone hit a millimetre or so ahead of the strapping of his glove, in which case it would have been forearm and therefore legitimately out LBW. But it didn't look great, and it's not something you probably give out with the naked eye. Hey-oh.
Who was the umpire?
The umpire was Mr. S. Wonder, it says here, or was it Mr. R. I can't remember. Let's have a look. Well, I'll give you a 50-50. Where is it saying it on cricket?
Ben Debenham or Rob Bailey?
Yeah, Ben Debenham or Rob Bailey. So.
Right. Well, Rob Bailey's usually pretty good umpire, so. And so is Ben Debenham if it comes to that.
Yes, I mean...
These things happen.
Got on, and there was that millimetre between the ball and the elastic of the wristband of the glove. Who knows? I don't think there's much more to talk about. I would love to have gone to Radler. It looks like a very lovely ground. I did hear Alfie Ogborn say when they were there, it feels a bit clubby. Because, of course, we don't play at any outgrounds for our Metro Bank One Day Cup games because... Well, why would you when you can sell them out with ease like we do?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not fair to the Somerset commercial.
I don't know what's happening at Lords to stop Middlesex playing there, though. Are they having building work done or something?
Yeah, well, I think it's demolishing, Steve. Demolishing of the English game is currently going on there instead of building work. But hey-ho. Yeah, Alfie was saying after he was speaking, after he took Pfeiffer on Friday night, it just feels a bit clubby, not like, and they didn't feel quite sort of up for it. They really had to kind of energise themselves for it. But I mean, what an effort by Somerset, putting on all these these events at the respective games, and 2 sellouts in a row for what is ostensibly a second 11 competition was absolutely fantastic effort. And, it was really great to be there. On Friday night and yesterday as well. So speaking of Friday nights, I was slightly surprised with the selection policy. We've had a couple of questions about this, particularly with the bowling. What are we trying to achieve? Because there are two opinions here. One is, got to go out and try and win this comp. It's professional cricket. Got to put your best side out every week. Go and try and win the trophy. And an equally valid point is, well, we are losing 3 decent bowlers at the end of the season. Let's make sure we give our youngsters as much cricket as possible. And I just wonder what your thoughts are.
Well, I haven't had the chance to speak to Paul Tweddle about it, but I guess they're trying a bit of both. You know, they want to win the competition, but equally they want to expose as many as possible of the youngsters to top level cricket. I think it's, hopefully they won't fall between the 2 stools, which could be the danger. But it's mostly in the bowling and the batting. It's more of the batting that's the problem, I think, at the moment. I mean, in the game on yesterday, on Sunday, Goldsworthy and Vaughan took a long time scoring their runs. I mean, they were good runs, but it put pressure on the Rew brothers and the later batsmen. Whereas I thought the bowlers have done really, pretty well. The youngsters, I think Alfie Ogborn's been outstanding. Somebody on Twitter asked, which, apart from Thomas Rew, who do you see as really featuring in the Blast and the County Championship next year? Well, I think Alfie Ogborn will be. Yeah. I think JT Langridge has come on from what I've seen on the live stream as well. Goldsworthy's been bowling well, and Archie Vaughan's been bowling well. So, they've been rotating the bowlers, and you can understand that. But what the policy is, I don't know. I mean, it's strange when you've got Miggy Pretorius on the books, presumably available to play, that you don't use him, because I would have thought he was an absolutely ideal cricketer for 50 over cricket. Bowls good wheels and hard hitting down towards the bottom of the order. If you need quick runs at the death, he'd be your man. So it is a bit strange, and not playing Jack Leach as well in 50 over cricket, at which he is very, very good.
Well, Pretorius was at the ground yesterday. He's not listed on the club put out an injury update today. He's not listed on that, so you assume he's fit. And no disrespect to Josh Davey, he bowled very well, but he is off at the end of the season. We are paying Miguel Pretorius to be an overseas player, and he does offer a lot with bat as well as ball. He didn't play against Durham on Friday night, so he was potentially fresh. So it does seem very odd that he wasn't selected. We played Lancashire on the same pitch that we played Durham on, so it was a used pitch. And then to not play Jack Leach, which is very odd as well, especially, he's a big name and you want to be putting the big names in the One Day Cup as much as you can, especially on Kids Day when he's probably Somerset's best known player and they can all watch their hero Jack Leach, England's Jack Leach, as he should be, wheeling away. I think if they'd have had Josh Thomas fit to bowl, they probably would have won that game, because their spinners, particularly what's he called, the Arav Shetty, he bowled really well. Josh Thomas, if you didn't see it, was hit on the ankle by a throw that was coming in when he was running between the wickets. And I don't think, Casey Aldridge was on from about the second over, so I don't know whether Josh did in fact go out and try and field, and he wasn't able to, but he certainly wasn't on the pitch for 99% of the innings at least. So he wasn't available to bowl, which may have just tipped it in our balance, having those extra few overs of spin. who knows? But it does seem a little bit incongruous to not go like 3-2. For me, having Roberts and Langridge at the same time is probably one of the youngsters too many. And you could probably say if we'd have gone with Leach instead of Roberts, that probably would have been a more balanced side and offered you a more balanced attack and given you a better chance of winning the game, whilst you are still playing a young guy in JT Langridge. And let's not forget Alfie Ogborn is still only 22 and Archie Bourne is still only, what is he, 19? So he's still got plenty of youth in that bowling attack. It's a tricky one. I mean, if we can do this for the whole campaign, win the trophy at the end of September, and Paul Twiddle can go, look what I did. I was spinning the plate of winning games, and I was spinning the plate. I don't know why I'm doing this, because we're not spinning plates. So it's like I'm spinning the plates of learning the youngsters and winning games. You look like a genius, but yeah, it's difficult. And I think Sunday's team was maybe a little bit more towards flooding the youngsters. Probably could have played one more senior place. There's a lot.
I hope they put up the strongest team against Yorkshire on Thursday, because we really need to beat Yorkshire up at York, isn't it?
Yeah, York 2 from 2.
They look strong, and if we're going to qualify, we need to beat teams like Yorkshire. And having got off to a really good start, we really ought to qualify from here. But it does mean putting our best team into the field against the stronger sides.
Yeah,
especially as Gloucestershire are going very well in the other group.
No, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 from 3.
3 from 3.
See, another one of their young guys has signed for Durham today.
Bailey,
yeah. Another bowler that's not signed for Somerset. Will Williams has gone somewhere as well.
He's gone to Gloucestershire. Will Williams has gone to Gloucester.
So every time there's a transfer, we just seem to be completely anonymous in the transfer market at the moment.
I'm sure someone will turn up.
Well, I just hope we're playing cards close to chest and things. But the number of kind of potential players is that pool is dwindling, and you're kind of looking at who could we sign. Oh, it's just frustrating. But other clubs always seem to do their business quite early, and we don't really ever seem to announce signings until the close season.
Well, we haven't done too badly in recent years, Wow. Matt Renshaw, Matt Henry.
Yeah,
I mean, quality cricketers. One or two of the end of season ones, rather less so.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think we're losing, probably Bashir's probably 99% as well as the 4 that have been announced. We're net down 5 players. 1 England Lions, 2 internationals, or 3 internationals if you count Andy Umeed, and Ben Green. So, 5 players who have done well for us over the various competitions and are going to be quite difficult to replace. Certainly the bowlers.
do you think the selection for these first 3 games has been a bit more rotational, just to give them a chance to look at different players? And now we're going to start, as Anthony said, we've got to go to York and play our strongest side, because win that one and you catapult yourself into a very good position in the group. Yeah. Do you think that's it? Because I'm struggling to find the rationale, because on Friday we had Jake Ball, who I know he's staying, but he's not the future of Somerset quick bowling.
Yeah.
We had Casey Aldridge and Josh Davey in that side, and Ben Green obviously has been in the side as well. So there's not a lot of future bowling there. Now, I could have understood it if you said we're going to play our strongest side against Durham, but I think the selection for York will be telltale of how they see it going for the rest. I think the top 6 is set in stone pretty much, injuries permitting. It's the bowling. But I'm with you. I'd play Jack Leach in any of these games in any conditions.
Absolutely.
So then you're left with 7, 8, 9 and 10. If you put Alfie Ogborn in, if he can play, then you're picking 3. And I'd like Ben Green takes another one away. So that leaves you with 2 spots to give. Who are you giving those to? And much as I like Casey Aldridge, he's not the future. How do you square that circle? You know.
Yeah, I mean, what helps is having 3 spinners that can all bat in your top 6 and 7: Thomas, Goldsworthy, and Vaughan.
Yep.
So it is tempting then to say, well, we've got the spin department covered, so we could potentially leave out Jack and play another seamer if we're maybe not particularly sure how the pitch is going to behave.
But you're not looking to get 30 overs out of those 3 spinners you've just mentioned.
No, that is true. And
so my view is if you've got Jack Leach and he's going to give you 10 overs, 19 matches out of 20, you've then got to find 20-something overs out of the other 3, which gives us a skipper, gives you flexibility.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and if it is a pitch where you want 30 overs out of Thomas, Vaughan and Goldsworthy, then it's definitely a pitch that you want Jack Leach to be bowling on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do we get down to when we're looking at the top 6? And so we get down to Josh Thomas at 6.
Yep.
I mean, do you then bat Finn Hill at 8? He played really well on Sunday.
Yep.
Would you rotate him out, or do you say, well, Thomas, we've got Goldsworthy and Vaughan and Leach, so potentially do you then say, well, bat Hill at 6 because he's got some runs, and then you could then potentially put Green in at 7. What are your thoughts on the participation of Green, Aldridge and Davey in this one-day cup campaign?
I've got really weird views because I would pick Ben Green every time.
Yeah.
Because of his experience in this competition, and I think he's the one for me who I say deserves. I can't give a logical reason. I just think I do it this way, Sheps. When I see the team, I see Ben Green in the side. I go, oh, good. Yeah. Josh Davey, with all the caveats of I love him, what he's done for the club over the years, etc., not so much. Casey Aldridge, we're not paying Casey Aldridge to try and get 20 million rather than 15 million in the transfer market, are we? Mm-hmm. So, and there's no logic to it, is there? Because I'm being a complete hypocrite because I'm saying pick one and don't pick the others. But that's just my gut feel, I think. And I think that's probably because I feel with Ben Green, we've got our strongest side and a better chance of winning the games. That's the only rationale I can go for. If you've got a side with Jack Leach, Josh Davey and Jake Ball, it's all due respect, says the bloke on one leg at the moment, it's not the most nimble fielding side, is it? When you've got, some of these other, and that is a consideration as well. I know you shouldn't pick someone for their fielding, but Miggy P and others are considerably more able in that department.
I'd have Ben Green in my side every time as well, and probably Casey Aldridge too. I think, they're fine cricketers, and as long as they're with Somerset, they'll play their hearts out for Somerset. Their hearts and minds, won't be elsewhere.
No. I'm kind of torn between the point we originally opened this discussion with of, are you trying to win the comp, or are you do you want to try and blood your youngsters as much as you can? And
but the best way to blood youngsters is to do well in a competition and win a competition. If Alfie Ogborn keeps going on the trajectory he's going for the first 3 games, and we get to the latter stages, the final, or even hopes and prayers win this thing, that's priceless for someone like Alfie Ogborn. So we've had the heart ripped out of the side. And more besides, and yet we're still putting out a very competitive side. But we were talking last week about people not coming through and leaving the club, and some haven't performed elsewhere, others have. Give these kids a chance now, is my mantra. I would much rather see Finn Hill, JT Langridge, Josh Thomas, et al., rather than Jake Ball and Josh Davey. I'm afraid, and that's
well. My side for Thursday, I'm assuming that Josh Thomas is probably not going to be fit. I'm going Vaughan, Lammonby, Goldsworthy, Rew, Hill at 6, then Green at 7, Pretorius, Ogborn, Langridge, and Leach. I'm putting Aldridge in as top now.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I'd swap Aldridge for Langridge in that side.
Yeah, me too.
I like him though. I think he's a bit of an X factor. He nearly got us over the line yesterday. I mean, they are absolute chalk and cheese in the field, Langridge and Aldridge. Langridge is kind of the proverbial giraffe on roller skates a little bit when he's in the field, but put a ball in his hand and he's rapid, and he gave a couple of them the real hurry up last night. So I like him as an X factor. If he has a bad day, you've got more than enough cover there. You've got, I think, about 8 other bowlers there. So we are a side of all rounders. So there's enough there to keep him in the side as an X factor.
Yeah, I just your side steps, but I like Steve, I'd have Aldridge in for Langridge against Yorkshire. Again, we really, we need to win.
Because if we beat, and I'm looking way ahead now, but just bear with me. If we were to beat Yorkshire, our remaining games in the group are the bottom 4 at the moment.
Yeah.
And I know it's early on, and it's like saying this time next week, Leeds are top of the league on goal difference because they won 3-1 or something. It's almost meaningless. But 2 more games and you're more than halfway through for most teams.
Yeah.
So that would be my sense that I think, I can't honestly see Northants or Kent pulling up any trees for the rest of the competition. So you've got to make sure you win this game and you're not guaranteed qualification. You've made it a heck of a lot easier to qualify.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about going all the way up to York. It's always a long way to go for a 50 over game, but these are it is the modern way. 'Twas ever thus, so I just want to maybe take the young side all the way up there. They might be a little bit jaded getting off the bus, but they really shouldn't be. They're young men. Kent have played 2, lost 2. Northants played 2, lost 2. Then we've got Warwickshire and Sussex. Warwickshire, of course. Somerset's next home game, next 17th, August the 17th. If you have got one of the official Somerset CCC calendars, that game is an inadvertent omission on Sunday the 17th. So do have a look and make sure you scribble that one in permanent marker this Sunday 17th. Club's 150th birthday party, so I should be there. My little girl wants to bake another cake, so I should be looking forward to taking that along. We seem to whip through these one-day games quite quickly. Anything more on Lancashire yesterday? It was nice to see Finn Hill get 50 odds. He came in at a little bit of a dodgy time. They were 140 off for 5 in the 35th over. Thought he popped a couple of little dodgy runs between the wicket. Particularly that one he Josh Thomas caught on the ankle from. He looked pretty composed. Kean Roberts, a little bit nervous when he went out. He had a couple of little misfields as well, but he took a bloody good catch to get rid of Marcus Harris. That was going like a tracer bullet, and it was sort of quite an awkward one, sort of around sort of the armpit area, up like this. But he was pleased as punch to take that one, I imagine. Harris batted really well, and I think he was pretty much the difference between the two sides.
Should have been out LBW though.
I haven't seen it, but
I did. I turned it on. Just about the first thing I saw was Alfie Ogborn pinning Marcus Harris in front of all 3. Given not out by Mike Burns.
Is that Mother Cricket evening things up for Josh Carey's is one on Wednesday? Oh, we haven't talked about Alfie Ogborn's fiver against Durham on Friday night. Oh, didn't he bowl well? I think he's the one that I'm most excited about from all of them. I think he's the one who could be the
priceless left-armedness as well. It's just
the all-format player for years to come. And he's got a great head on his shoulders as well. We talked about it on the pod before. He's a lovely young guy. He's nudging Tom Abel for the nicest man in Somerset award. He's a close silver medal on that one, but Abe's has still just got the gold there. But yeah, lovely guy, great attitude. I think is his ceiling really is as hard as he wants to work, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hoping he plays a lot more red ball cricket in September.
Yeah.
Well, given the departures, there's a great logic in playing him in those games and giving him that run, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, I did hear an interesting transfer rumour. Well, I'm not sure if it was a rumour or not, or it might have just been that this would be a good player to start. Keaton Jennings' name was mentioned in the press box by a former player who I won't name, who's been not happiest, not the happiest up at Lancashire. And I think, particularly with his record on turning pitches, so spinning pitches, would be an ideal fit down at Taunton.
Well, he's a good player.
Yeah, someone with that career and number of runs, you wouldn't balk at him being in the side, would you?
No. I mean, I remember watching him a couple of years ago when the only way we seemed to be able to get rid of him was when he pulled his hamstring.
That's right. He got 311 up at Southport, and then the following, was it the same season or the season after, he came down to Taunton. He was 195 not out. Looks as if he was on his way to another 300 when he did his hamstring.
Yeah,
he's not quite in that form now.
No, but I think maybe he's, if the rumours are to be believed, and he's a little bit unsettled up at Old Trafford.
Yeah. Wouldn't be a bad call at all.
No, he would be a fantastic signing for us. So let's hope that one is that little particular rumour is true. But we shall await with bated breath. Andy Mead as well has not been cited. Apparently he's angling for a loan move, I've heard, to find himself a new employer, which you can't blame him for. So he's not, I think if he plays for us, he obviously cup ties himself for future rounds of the Metro Bank One Day Cup. So I think that's why he's requested to be left out of the squad, and you totally understand that. So best of luck, Andy, wherever you do find yourself. I think that's it. I think we've exhausted these first 3 One Day Cup games, unless you guys got any other business on them.
No, I don't think so.
You've been following our brave lads in the 100?
What?
No, I did see something that said Tom Banton had got some runs for.
He did. Tom Banton
Lewis Gray
runs. Tom Kohler-Cadmore and Tom Abel have not been getting any runs.
Oh, that's good. So we get Abel in form, and then he goes to 100 and immediately gets himself out of form. Fantastic. No, all I see on the 100 on social media is I just sort of scroll down through Twitter, and literally everything is, what a way to finish a game, and it's a nudge single through point. And it's like, it's just so much hype. It's just the hyperbole and the sense.
It's called making the best of a bad job.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I'll just look at it and go, what are you watching the same cricket that we're watching? Like, it's so.
It's almost like football fans that football didn't exist before the Premier League, and you sort of hear that tonight cricket, and a quick mention of the Test match, and then in the Birmingham Hula Hoops are playing the London Monster Munch or whatever it is, and it's clearly been got to be hyped by the BBC, but it just really riles me. I'm saying I'm a broken record.
Premier Inn is good football. I mean, it's top quality football.
What, Gibbo?
The 100.
The Premier Inn.
Premier League.
I prefer the Travelodge Championship myself.
Premier League is top level football. The 100 is mostly crap.
And the Premier League it's the same teams just playing.
Yeah.
In the same, what is ostensibly the first division, but
they're playing crap in a crap format.
Yeah. And
I was trying to explain this to a non-cricket following friend who's a very big red up here, and I was saying, how would you feel if around about Christmas, Alison Van Dijk and Mo Salah went off and played for the Northwest Champions or something, the 4 or 5 games, and they were like, "Well, that's ridiculous."
In a 7-a-side competition,
yes. Yeah, with smaller goals or bigger goals exactly. Yeah, and they were like, they could not get their head round. Well,
actually as well.
Well, not anymore because that's the poo camp now. But anyway, but yeah, it's and they just genuinely had no knowledge of cricket and they could not understand this. They were like, so your best players don't play for you. Well, and I said, and it's like the Premier League is sort of carrying on as well, or the FA Cup's being played. And they were just like, no, this doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, and you just have to sit and listen to the likes of Michael Vaughan saying, "Oh, isn't it great? All these tech billionaires are putting all this money into our thing." It's like, are you honestly that naive? Are you honestly that naive that they're going to put millions and millions and millions of pounds into something and not want a return? I feel like we've talked about this before on several dozen occasions. So apparently we are getting 400 grand. We may have already got 400 grand. I don't know if it's in the bank or not. I'm sure Jamie Cox will be able to confirm. Oh, I did ask Jamie about the pitch against Durham. We've not had any official censure yet, but I gather there's still communications ongoing regarding that. So watch this space. Yeah, and as to your original question, no, I've not been watching any of the 100, and I won't be. Have we had any listeners' questions that we haven't answered? Yeah, Harry Hayden's selection strategy for the Metro Comp. I think we've done that. Club strategy towards the one-day comp team selection from Andy Cleve. Pretty much the same question as Harry's. Chris has said, which youngster not called Thomas Rew has impressed the most and who's like to earn a spot in the Championship or Blast next year? Well, probably Alfie.
It'll be Alfie.
Yeah.
Language is a bit of a wild card in the Blast if he makes good progress and shows what he's capable of. Because we may have it in our mind that we don't want him to become another Sonny Baker, who's another player who is I did see playing in the 100 with Lewis. Oh, I can't even work out who's playing for who these days. So that's the other thing that winds me up about the 100. Off my long run again. I always thought there was like an established run that Lewis Gregory was the captain of the Trent Rockets, and that's why they were so successful. And now he's not playing for them anymore for some reason. I don't know what that reason is, but he's not playing for them anymore, and he's playing for somebody else, and they're all over the shop. Oh, I hate it. I know players transfer clubs, but it just seems to be even worse in these franchise competitions. Yeah. Any advance on those two for Chris's question?
No. Supper
No.
beckons.
Absolutely. Right. We whizzed through this in record time today. It's been a very not been many controversial talking points to chat about this week. I feel like we've missed something. So if there is anything that we haven't talked about, do let us know, and we'll squeeze it in next week. But do we have any other business? Somerset women haven't played, of course. They've stopped for the 100. So we've got nothing to talk about in that respect. I think we're done.
Yep.
Yeah.
See you on Sunday.
Time. Yeah. Are you there Sunday? Are you?
I'm not working. I'm going to look in as it's the 150th birthday party. I thought ought to be there for that.
Well, you could bring some gravitas to the live stream, Gibbo.
No comment. No comment.
Rightio. Okay.
Well, all right, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.
See you next week. Ta-ra.